yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with WendyY Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, WendyY Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with yours truly, WendyY Bailey. I'm so excited about this show. It's been about a year that we've been on hiatus, and since that time, a lot has happened. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the things that are changing, but I'm really thrilled to be on this E360 TV platform. It's an app. You can download it and go to the Diamond Factor Network. That's a network we're a part of by Barbara J. Beckley. And I'm excited because you can watch it on your phone. You can watch it in all the destinations that I've identified. And I'm just thrilled to be here. I got to tell you, I'm just so thrilled to be here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate your presence as we talk about the recipe for a successful coaching business. Before we get into that, I want to do a little bit of lay some ground rules and a little bit of backstory to kind of bring you current. As a reminder, I'm WendyY Bailey. Everyone calls me WendyY, and there's a story behind it. I'll just share it quickly. When I came to LinkedIn now more than 18 years ago, there were 25 Wendy Baileys on LinkedIn alone. Okay. And so in order to distinguish myself, I knew I needed to come up with something different. And I had been part of this close networking organization where you go meet for breakfast or lunch. We met for breakfast and you would stand up and give your 60-second infomercial. And I would always use my middle initial. I say, hey, I'm WendyY Bailey, blah, blah, blah. And so a couple of people in the group started calling me WendyY. So when I came to that LinkedIn issue, I said, that's it. I'm always going to be WendyY. If you Google me today, you'll see WendyY Bailey. I'll come up and you'll see all of my stuff, my footprint, my digital footprint online. And but if you Google just Wendy Bailey, you're going to get the musician who I tell people was on my mailing list for a number of years. You'll get the attorney, you'll get the psychologist. There's a college professor out there. But if you Google WendyY Bailey, you get me all day long for several pages. So test it out and let me know how it works out for you. But that's why people call me WendyY. My mom even called me WendyY. She would leave me voicemail messages if she was trying to reach me, and she would say, hey, WendyY, it's your mom. So I know that when you refer to me as WendyY, you do it as a term of affection, and I so appreciate that. So let me get to some stuff around business. Okay. I've been in my business for more than 20 years. In June, it'll be 22 years. I can't believe it's been that long. It's kind of like pinch me. And every single time I think about doing something different, I come right back to where I am because I'm good at this. I know exactly what to do. I serve my clients well. They're satisfied. And so for me, coaching is what I do. It's what I was called to do. And in almost 22 years, if you can imagine, I've seen quite a few things, quite a few good things, not so great things. I've seen some things happening in the marketplace. I've tried some stuff myself, some that didn't work. But, the thing that I want you guys to know is no matter how long you've been in your coaching business, if it's something you're called to do, then what you'll do is you'll learn the lessons from everything and not get stuck in whatever failures they are. And failure is really about lessons learned, right? And so for me, I've learned a lot of lessons through this almost 22-year experience. And that even more so positions me to be thrilled about this platform because I see the direction of technology. And this is just part of me being the innovative coach and entrepreneur that I am to be on this platform. So let me tell you a little bit more about myself. Let's see, I have three silos, if you will, three revenue streams in my business. And I'm going to tell you about them at a very high level. I'm not going to get into the weeds. The first one is I'm a coach. Like I do private coaching for a select number of individuals during the course of the year. I don't always do private coaching all the time because I really do want to not spread myself so thin. That's one thing. But at one point in time, I was known as the group coaching diva. So a number of my programs are group coaching, and I'm kind of part of that. But I love individual coaching, right? So I can't entirely get away from it. And for a premium fee, clients can hire me to coach them privately. That's the first revenue stream that I focus on. The second one is my membership platform. I have a membership platform. It's at morecoachingclients.com. And it's like chock full of information. It's a library type of platform at the lowest level. And then at the highest level is something you're going to be hearing me talk about more and more. That's the certified Income Acceleration Coach Program, which officially launches this year. It's something that I've been working on for a while. And I got to tell you, it is stellar in terms of the content. I've poured more and more actionable content for people who are in the program to really grow their bottom line and scale their coaching business. So I'm excited about the membership platform and especially that certification program. And then the third revenue stream that I have is all about making sure that I serve clients in a big way through speaking, through consulting, and doing some of the things that are more done for you solutions for my clients. And, you know, the Profitable Coaching Conversations is part of the media arm, if you will, of my business. So when you watch me on E360 TV or on my social media platforms, YouTube, everywhere, what you're going to see is you're going to get some really valuable content. You're going to get not just, you know, fluff. I've heard that word used before, but you're going to get some really valuable content in the way of strategies, techniques, and I hope you walk away with some insights that will serve you in growing and scaling your coaching business. I work with coaches. I work in the transformation industry. That's what I call it. If you're a coach, if you're a speaker, a trainer, maybe you're a consultant, maybe you call yourself a strategist, you're in the right place to get the kind of support and the insights you need because you're exactly who I serve. And, you know, I serve from my heart. Sometimes people call me, my clients call me Auntie. In addition to WendyY, they call me Auntie. And sometimes I've heard a couple people call me Mama Coach because my Southern charm kind of comes through and I support them with my the stories of experiences I've had. And, you know, I want them to learn the lessons that they don't have to have a mistake about to learn. You know, I believe in sharing the pitfalls. I believe in, you know, telling you what's happening. And so the content that we're going to be delivering on this show every Tuesday, I've interviewed hand-picked guests to help you and to bring their experiences to you on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on Thursdays, just like today, I'm going to be coming to you live to share content. So if there are topics that you really want to hear me speak about, if there's something you got a question about, wherever you are, just leave me a note in the comments and I'll go back and I'll check those and I'll respond to those directly right there or directly through, you know, some giveaway or something if it calls for that. I'm excited to do the live shows. I've been doing the live shows. Again, we've been on hiatus for about a year, but I've been doing the live shows almost from the very beginning, right? It was just me live sharing content. I love doing live training. I love doing live teaching. I even love doing live coaching, but this platform is not one where I'll be doing live coaching as much as I'll be sharing the content and the insights for you to glean from that what you will. Be sure to tell me hi in the comments. Let me know that you are there. Be sure to let me know, again, if you have questions, if you have special requests. At the end of the show, I'm going to tell you about what's coming up next week. on Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll do that every single show. I'll tell you every single live show. I'll tell you what's coming up the next week. So mark your calendars for 1 p.m. Eastern every Thursday, because I'm going to be right here, right here, right here. I also want to make sure you know, as a coach, I don't know where you are in your coaching journey. A lot of evolution takes place when you are a coach, a speaker, a trainer, a consultant, a strategist, a mentor, a thought leader. A lot of evolution takes place. And the thing that benefits you the most is paying attention to that evolution. Pay attention to trends. Look ahead of you and try to get ahead of that, or try to be on par with trends so that you can stay up. But let me caution you, when you are staying ahead of the trend, when you are paying attention, make sure that you are zigging when everybody else is zagging. You know what I mean? It means that you don't want to look like the whole group of coaches. You want to distinguish yourself somehow. And a large part of that is branding. And branding is more than just visual branding. It goes beyond that. It's sort of how you show up in your business, how you interact with your clients, how you position yourself and set yourself apart from everyone becomes really important. Years ago, I did an interview for an article that was posted. The business has gone out of the organization has gone out of business now, but it was Coaching Commons. And the interviewer, the reporter, actually said to me, "It sounds like you really enjoy innovation." Right. And I said, "Oh, absolutely. It's because innovation is what helps you stay ahead. It's what helps you zig when others zag. Right. So think of technology and innovation. Not innovation and technology are not synonymous, by the way. When I say innovation, I'm talking about thinking outside of the box. I'm talking about being visionary about what you do, what you offer, how you show up in your business. And it's part of your brand to be that way. So I'm called a force of nature in the coaching industry because I have this compelling way of embracing technology and innovation. Okay. So in that case, they're definitely different. Innovation, doing something different, zigging when everybody else is zagging. And then technology is doing things like being on this new platform, E360 TV. I looked at the possibility, just to give you some insight, I looked at the possibility of creating my own app. And it's not out of the question that I'll do that, maybe on my membership platform. But right now, I just love serving through this platform. I love knowing that if I want to, I can consider having my own app. I think we're moving toward that. We're just not there yet as a society. Everybody doesn't have an app. And I'm okay not having an app yet unless I know it's going to be something my clients will really benefit from. But pay attention to the trends. Pay attention to what you're seeing in the marketplace. And then again, zig when everybody else is zagging. That's what makes you visionary in your coaching business. And you want to be visionary in everything that you do, right? I was on Clubhouse. I want to say for about a year, I was on Clubhouse. And just as an aside, I recorded all of my sessions, and they're in the library at my membership academy. So you can go back and listen to that content as a member of the academy. That's part of the innovation that I'm talking about. Think beyond what's right in front of you. I always tell my clients, think strategy. Right? Think of what this strategy is going to do to elevate your business or propel you forward in your business. That's what you want to think about. But I was on Clubhouse for about a year. And one of the things that I talked about on Clubhouse at length, was sort of creating this experience for people. And Clubhouse for me was about creating this experience for people. So when you're sharing your content, when you're sharing your wares, whatever you're doing in the way of coaching and training, just make sure there's a strategy to it. It's not okay for you to go live somewhere, but you don't understand the strategy behind it. It's not okay for you to publish a book if you don't understand the strategy behind it, right? You've got to put it all together and to be visionary about what you're doing so that it really builds your brand and builds your business and allows you to grow and scale at the same time. So that's a little bit about me and the evolution. I want to talk for a second about clients, and then I'm going to get into my content. So again, if you're here, bear with me. I'm doing a little bit of introductory information because, this is a new platform, but I want to hear from you. Be sure you say hi in the chat, in the comments, wherever you are. Be sure that you let me know if you have questions or comments, because I will be going back and responding to them. And again, responding to them may mean I say, hey, glad you were here. It may mean great question. I think I want to do an episode on that. I want to do a topic that's related to what you talked about. So I'm definitely plugged into you and what you want from this experience as well. So let's get into the clients that I serve. I talked about them, but let me drive it home. My clients are typically coaches, speakers, strategists, trainers, thought leaders who are trying to find their voice in the marketplace. And you never stop learning, right? And I learned, like, in the past 5 years, I've learned that my clients are six-figure clients already, or near six figures. And because they're near or at six figures and above, they're looking for support in a big way. I mentioned that I love coaching, right? I love the private coaching. But I didn't tell you that I also serve as a fractional COO, CMO for coaches, six figures and above. And what that means I do is I help them operationalize their businesses, systematize their businesses. And based on that, we work on strategy for operations. We work on strategy and implementation for marketing. And sometimes we do sales. Like I'm a business and sales coach, like at a fundamental level, that's what I do. And so I'm often tweaking their sales systems, or even helping them implement some automation around their sales processes. So that's another arm of income that I have, an income stream, a suite of services that I offer through that as well. So my clients love me in a lot of different ways, and I love supporting clients who are ready, willing, and able to make the investment, not just the financial investment, but their time, their energy, their interest in growing and scaling their coaching business. Today, I'm going to talk about key performance indicators, and you'll hear me use the term KPIs because that's how they're referred to. And KPIs are simply, and I want to make sure I say this right, quantifiable indicators. Quantifiable indicators. What it means is they're numbers. Like, you can look at the numbers, you can see how they are positioning you in the marketplace. You can watch the numbers grow. You can set goals and targets related to those KPIs, those quantifiable indicators, those numbers. And when you set goals based on those targets, based on those indicators that you identify, okay, and I'm going to say something about that in just a minute. When you set goals for that, then you can adjust them as you watch those indicators, as you look at those numbers on a regular basis. When I talk about setting goals and setting targets, what those indicators are, they're different for every industry. They're different for every industry. Some of them are similar, but you want to look for your coaching business specifically. You want to look at items that matter to you, right? You want to look at how something is serving you. It's not enough for you to have a growing social media if it's not converting into business for you, right? But if you've got a strategy that says, if I have this growing number of followers, and I'll just use LinkedIn, for example, if I have a growing number of followers on LinkedIn, then I should get to a tipping point, a point where that turns into the strategy I've identified for gaining new clients, new email subscribers, and gaining new clients from that email list, right? You need to know every step of the way what those numbers yield for you and if they're effective. Again, it's not enough just to post on LinkedIn. It's not enough just to post on social media. You got to make sure that you understand the strategy that connects them to your KPIs so that you can track it. Okay. I wrote down two quotes. The first is, what you measure gets done. Peter Drucker, who was a 19th century economist, said that what you measure gets done. If you're not tracking your KPIs, if you're not looking at what you're doing in the numbers, the quantifiable indicators, your KPIs, you're missing out on opportunities to really gain traction in growing and scaling your coaching business. Okay. The second one is what you track grows. There's a law of attraction strategy, and it says what you track grows. It's another way of saying what you measure gets done. If you're tracking it, then you're much more likely to see when something declines or something increases, and you can adjust your activities based on that. And that's really what you want. You really want to base your activities, your daily, weekly, and monthly activities. Now, those of you who have been around me for a while, you know that I call those income producing activities, or IPAs. Yeah. I love a good acronym. And IPA says, I'm focused on the right things that are going to help my business to grow. Growth is about bottom line. Growth is about like all the KPIs that are part of your business. You got to make sure that you're thinking about looking at growth in a way that serves and supports you. And I'm going to share one more quote. I didn't write it down, but it's one that I know and I use all the time. Done is better than perfect. I know you've heard it, right? Done is better than perfect. And Sheryl Sandberg, who used to be in an operations VP with what we now know as Meta, formerly Facebook, said that. Done is better than perfect. And what it means is it's not about you having a ton of certifications. It's not about it being perfect. It's not about, whatever you're working on, whether it's a product or a new program or a new service, it doesn't have to be perfect to be successful, for you to launch it successfully. Doesn't have to be perfect. Years ago, and I'm going to try to tell this so that I don't out the person who I was talking to. I was doing some networking, and there was someone that I had met at a conference, and I hadn't reached out to her in a couple of months, so I did. And I kind of said, "What are you working on these days?" And she said, "Oh, I'm trying to put together my webinar." And I said, "Oh, okay. Tell me what your webinar is about." And she told me, and I said, "Okay. So what are you planning to do? When are you planning to launch it?" And she said, "Well, I'm really working on it." I said, "Well, how long have you been working on it? It sounds like a big project." She had been working on creating a webinar for months. I'm not saying you should fly by the seat of your pants and just put something substandard out into the marketplace. But again, done is better than perfect. And when you are looking at your KPIs and you're following your IPAs, then you need to know very clearly, you need to know exactly what you've got to do to move it quickly through your systems, through the processes of your business to get it to the marketplace. Again, I'm not suggesting that you launch something that is subpar, but done is better than perfect. And when it comes to your KPIs and your IPAs, that's going to help you understand what you really need to be putting in front of your potential clients in the marketplace. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what some potential KPIs look like. Okay. The first one I want to give you, and these are examples because they're going to be different for you in your coaching business. But as a rule, these are the ones that I follow in my coaching business. And these are the first line of go-tos for my clients when I talk to them about their KPIs. The first thing is your sales by product or program. You need to know sales by product or program because it tells you what your best-selling program or product is, your best-selling service. And you need to know that so that when you're working in your IPAs, your income-producing activities, you're focused on activities that are going to yield more sales where you're receiving more sales. That's why sales by product, program, or service is such an important KPI. Okay. Again, if you have questions, post them in the chat or the comments, and I'll be glad to respond to them. So, sales by product or program or service, let me say that that's not necessarily a manual item that you're tracking, because if you've got these really robust shopping carts and shopping systems, they're tracking that. The analytics within that system should be tracking that kind of information for you. The three examples I gave are one shopping cart. For years, I was a one shopping cart person. That can help you. Sam Cart is one that I have used before. Now, Active Campaign, you've got to set up the technical pieces of Active Campaign. It's a very robust email marketing, but it's also like a what do you call it? A CMS, customer management system. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got it right. I don't know why my brain isn't working on that today, but it can help you track it if you use some of those advanced features within Active Campaign. Whatever your shopping cart is, maybe you're using a Stripe as a shopping cart. Maybe you're using a Moon Clerk as a shopping cart. The numbers that you need that will allow you to track your KPIs will be part of those systems. Okay. So if you don't have those systems, then set a goal to get those systems, right? PayPal to me is not one of those systems. I go on and on all the time about how I don't like PayPal. And it's because, I don't mean to knock them, but it's because they are quietly trying to become more of a shopping cart, if you will. But there's a lot that they haven't worked out in the way of their client facing service, their tools. So I don't count PayPal in with my stuff because I don't use PayPal. But if you do, I have some clients who use PayPal, some who use PayHip, some who use, other tools. You need to know how the analytics will support you so that you can track your KPIs from that. Okay, let me give you another one that I use. Your website metrics are one of your KPIs. If you've got a website, if you use your website to attract clients, to join your mailing list, to download your lead magnet, to read your blog post, to go in and buy services from you, you need to know the analytics of your website. And what I mean by that is you need to know traffic patterns. You need to be able to see top referrers, unique visitors, length of time people are staying on your site, on certain pages, and so much more. I use Google Analytics. It's plugged into my WordPress websites. I use WordPress for all of my websites. I'm just like that. I'm diehard. Whatever you're using, you can still use Google Analytics. It's free. When you have a Google account, it's free, and you can always go and check out the analytics, all the things that I said. Your website metrics will tell you exactly what you need to do and how to refocus your IPAs accordingly. Okay. Are you guys starting to see the tie-in between KPIs and IPAs and your daily activities? I hope you are. I mentioned it earlier, but let me kind of get into it a little bit more. Your email subscribers, when you're a coach, your email subscribers will indicate for you, it's a KPI, how your business is growing, right? Email subscribers confirm the effectiveness of your marketing. If you're marketing in regularly on the right platforms to attract your most ideal clients, your email list should be growing. Your subscriber list should be growing. And you can still do, again, this is a done is better than perfect. You can do well with a small email list just as much as you can with a large email list. It's all about making sure the right people are joining your email list. And that's about having the right lead magnet or magnets. Okay. So pay attention, if you will, to how your email list is growing. Okay. Some tools that I'll give you, Get Response. I mentioned Active Campaign a minute ago. MailChimp is another one. MailerLite, I think, is another one. I haven't used MailerLite, but I mentioned the ones that I have used. And each and every one of them has metrics, analytics that you can check into on a regular basis. Again, I'm going to say something about that in just a minute. Social media is overrated in one sense and underrated in another one. This is another KPI. Social media is overrated, especially if you are in a frenzy trying to post everywhere because you think that's what you're supposed to do. That's not what you're supposed to do. You need to expend your energy setting up your social media post on platforms where you're most likely to attract your most ideal clients specifically. For a long time, and still to this day, I never downloaded Snapchat. I'm not on TikTok. Though that's my choice. My ideal clients may be over there, but I choose to focus on LinkedIn. I choose to focus on YouTube and Facebook. Those are my social media platforms where I lend much more attention to my post and really have a strategy around client attraction. Think about who your ideal client is. And based on the information, each of the platforms will tell you what their subscriber base looks like. They'll tell you if it's mostly men or mostly women who are on the platform. They'll tell you the age range of the people on the platform. I think it's funny that younger people, I'm going to say the Gen Y and Gen Z people, think that Facebook is for older people. It's because they jumped on Instagram and they love Instagram, right? And so the old fogies like us are on Facebook. I debate that because some people are still over there. But what I'm saying to you is look at the information about the social media platform to be sure that your ideal client characteristics are in alignment with their subscriber base. Then you know where you need to spend your time on that platform, or if you need to spend your time on that platform, right? And in this list of KPIs I'm giving you today, I'm actually not getting into real depth around each one of them, but I hope I'm making you think about what you're doing and how you're serving the marketplace so that it serves you well. Let's see. I'm not on Twitter anymore. When Twitter became X, I was like, I don't need to be on it anymore because I haven't seen a whole lot. I don't need to be posting to Twitter. It's not even on my website. It's not even on my phone. I don't have Twitter anymore. So you need to identify your social media sites in such a way that you're attracting your most ideal clients when you serve content to those places. That's what should determine where you go live. That's what should determine how you share your blogs and where you share your blogs. Know your ideal client, align that with the social media platforms that are going to give you the most traction in your business. Now I'm going to give, let me see. Yeah, I'll give you one more. And, before I give you this last one, I'm also going to give you like a strategy around each of these KPIs. These are not the end all be all KPIs. I'm open to talking with you and sort of identifying your KPIs and helping you identify systems that can help you start to track these areas and focus on your IPAs that yield the kind of results from your KPIs in a big way. They're different for every coaching business. Some of what I've shared is general. It is something that you want to look in almost any industry where you're selling services. The things that I've shared so far will help you to do that. Again, sales by product, program, or service, your website metrics, email subscribers, social media. And the last one I want to go to is your accounting software. And I was trying to decide how I wanted to position it. Some people use FreshBooks, some people use QuickBooks. I'm a QuickBook person, but whatever your accountant shares with you and what makes it easy for your accountant to serve and support you, that's what you want to use, right? And when you use whatever tool or system that you use, what you're going to find is it's going to help you to look at your income streams in a big way. It's going to help you to track to your IPAs. It's going to help you to evolve your coaching business in a big way. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to give you a strategy that will help you to activate these KPIs in your business and more KPIs in your business. Hey, welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that commercial, if you will, from our sponsor, the Diamond Factor Network. Barbara J. Beckley, you saw her in the video, has been an amazing resource helping me move my business through this expansion to the E360 TV platform. She's the channel president for the Diamond Factor Network. And I just want to give you a plug, Barbara. I know you're out there, you're watching, you're actually on here with me, hosting my show with me in the background. And, Barbara is like an amazing resource. She is kind, she is giving. She really works hard to make sure your show, your program on the network really gets the kind of visibility. Her strength is in doing all the back end stuff, guiding you to stuff you need on the front end, and just making you look just really great on the network. That's what made it possible for me to move to this platform. Now, she didn't know I was going to say this, okay? But if you're looking at expanding your business and you're looking for a platform, talk to Barbara about E360 TV and the Diamond Factor Network and get a show. I promise you, if you're going live, if you're doing this kind of stuff, this is going to elevate you in so many ways, not just about this platform. As you see, it's beautifully branded with my colors and all that kind of stuff. It's also about making sure that it exposes you to more people. She has the capacity to take on many more shows, and I'm sure she's looking forward to serving you in that way. So definitely reach out to Barbara J. Beckley. She's on all platforms, Barbara J. Beckley. And even if you leave a note in the comments, if I see it, I'm going to have her get back with you about this. The cool thing to me about being on the E360 TV network with the Diamond Factor Network in particular, and Barbara, is, she makes it easy for you. I love that they are in, I can't remember the number of countries, but this broadcast has the ability to reach millions more people because it goes on Amazon Fire Stick, Roku. You can download the E360 app from Google Play or from Apple TV. You can view it on your social media platforms as well. But this is real TV. This is real TV. It's not me going live and calling out people. It really is TV, real TV. And, going live is like being on TV. There's a movie, and if you've been around me for any length of time, I'm a movie and TV buff. And there's a movie where they're live on TV. It's a news program, but they're live on TV, and the anchor is sitting there reading something when they go live, and the stage person's like, psst, 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 we're live. This is that kind of TV, right? When I saw myself on camera when we came back from the break, I knew that it was time for me to start talking again, right? This is live TV, and it's going out across the world. And I'm just so honored to be part of this platform with Barbara. So I've been talking about KPIs. I've given you, some basic ones that I view in my business. Now I want to give you a strategy of how to begin to measure your KPIs and look at your KPIs in a way that helps you to grow and scale. Before I do, let me say this. I hear people in the marketplace a lot these days talking about scaling your coaching business, right? Scaling simply means preparing your business to grow. It means putting in the right systems, the right resources, the right tools so that your business is ready to grow and take on more business, more clients, more you're offering services that are aligned with your clients, and it allows you to grow in numbers in terms of that. And let me say this about numbers. Sometimes it's not about having, 15 different programs. It's about identifying one good program and serving one clearly aligned group of clients. And that's when you're going to see the ability to scale, to grow in numbers for whatever that program is. I was in a program a couple of years ago, and that was one of the lessons I learned. Like, I'm one of those people, I'm like, oh, you need a program, you need that? I got a program for that. Let me create a service for that. And so I've got a lot of content that I've amassed over the, almost 22 years. But what I learned is, even though I have all of this content, it doesn't mean I have different clients for all of these, each piece of content. And I don't need to keep creating. I need to focus on programs that are going to serve a fewer number of programs that are going to serve more of my ideal clients. That's why I created the membership platform. That's why I created the certification program. That's why I tuned my streams of income into 3 clear buckets, right? So think about your business in a way that allows you to streamline so that you can grow and scale. It's not 15 programs or products, right? It can be as small as one that you sell several of 15 times over, excuse me. So let's talk about your strategy. Well, Wendy, why? Why do I need a strategy? Anytime you do something in your business, you need to have a strategy for it. Because when you have a strategy for it, it means that you understand that this activity in your business that you're engaged in is really going to yield the kind of results you want that are reflected in your KPIs, right? You don't do it just for the sake of doing it. If you haven't heard anything else I've said throughout this broadcast, that's something I really want you to understand. You've got to be intentional about your strategy, your activities, your KPIs, everything that leads you to grow. You've got to be very intentional about it, and it all needs to be aligned. So step 1 of the strategy is to set a calendar appointment with yourself, for yourself, and then honor it. And the calendar appointment you're setting is so that you can sit down and look at your KPIs on a monthly basis. You want to look at it weekly, monthly, however often you need to. But when I say calendar the time, I'm talking about setting aside the time on your calendar to actually go and grab the information from your KPIs, right? You're going and you're grabbing the information about your let me go back to the first one, your sales by product, program, or service. You're going and grabbing your website metrics. I have a plugin, a Google Analytics plugin that actually sends me my metrics from my WordPress websites every month. So I don't actually have to go grab them. I just need to, sort of tweak them to make sure they're current and I understand exactly what they're telling me. In this calendar appointment, you're also going and you're looking at your email subscribers. How many new ones do you have? What emails were open? How many people spent time looking at them? How many clicks were made? All of that kind of stuff is what you want to put in your spend time looking for in your calendared appointment. So get the appointment on your calendar for an hour. Sometimes I've noticed I spend an hour and a half because I'm tweaking as I go and I'm sort of documenting what I want to learn from it and making sure that my IPAs going forward are going to match that. It may be an hour and a half at first when you first put it together, right? But calendar the time that you're going to spend every month identifying your KPIs in the status of those KPIs. The second thing is to create a spreadsheet. I created an Excel spreadsheet, and I have, how many followers, I have all of these KPIs that I mentioned, right? And then I have some others because I want to pay attention to some other things. Let me just say this. When you start looking at your KPIs in this way, you're going to see how aligned they really are. You're going to see how connected they really are. And that's exactly what you want to be able to do. Because then you can turn around and you can say, okay, because I had this much sales by program, product, or service, this product isn't selling as well. So I'm going to stop tracking it, or I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to lend as much attention to it. I'm not going to invest as much time into it. But this one has sold well. So I need to turn up the volume on my intention and my activity specifically related to this program, right? This product. That's what your KPIs will tell you. So when you put it in a spreadsheet and you start looking at it, what you're going to find is, again, you can tweak it. You can adjust it. It gives you information so that you can make decisions that will truly help your business grow and scale. And the third part of my strategy is this. Track and set goals. That's really more of what I just said. When you look at your KPIs, you can revisit them. Sometimes, it kind of depends on where I am. Like if I'm in the middle of a launch and I'm talking about something in particular, then I can revisit my KPIs not just once a month, but in between. I'll go and I'll look at them and I say, okay, I missed this, right? So let me do this because I missed it. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know it was going to be that way. And the other thing that KPIs tell you, especially as it relates to your website, is if you need to do something different in terms of building out your website, if you need to do something different about your website performance, maybe pages are loading slow, all of that kind of stuff is something that your KPIs, specifically your website metrics, will help you to tweak, okay, will help you to change. Then the last thing I'm going to say is when you are tracking and you're setting goals, you can adjust them. They're not etched in stone. You can look at it and, revise your strategy, whatever you need to do. I've mentioned that a couple of times in different ways. I remember early on in my coaching business, people would say to me, "Do you have a business plan?" I would say, "Absolutely." And don't get stuck on what a business plan looks like. A business plan will be your KPIs, and your assessment of those KPIs will be part of your business plan. That also includes your goals. It also includes the strategies that you have for that. That's a business plan. And when you have those pieces and more, those are just a few examples, then you do have a business plan. But let me be clear. Early on, I knew that a business plan was not this binder where I had, a thick binder where I had all of these pieces of information and tabs and everything. It is a living, breathing document, a living, breathing record of your goals and your vision for your business and how you are continuing to stay on track. I look at my all of those pieces and more frequently than on a monthly basis, because I'm always doing, well, what am I supposed to do this week? And what did I say I was going to accomplish, next month? What do I need to do to get ahead of that? All of that revisiting and revising is part of your living, you treating your business plan as a living, breathing document. And that's really what you want it to be. That's what you want it to be. Remember that you can post your questions or comments in the wherever I'm streaming right now, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to read all of them and I'm going to respond to them, and I'm going to incorporate whatever your thoughts are into my next thing. Let me say this. I want to make sure that you know that I've got a couple of things on the horizon that I want you to take part of. The first is my Profitable Coaches Mastermind. I'm still working on the strategy around it a little bit. I want to make sure the content and the structure is right. But in the next couple of weeks, I'm actually going to be launching the Profitable Coaches Mastermind, and I'll share more details about that with you. If you want to get on my calendar to talk more about it, you can go to chatwithwendy.com. Chatwithwendy.com. It's a 15-minute appointment. It'll be just a, hey, how you doing? Tell me why you're interested in it. Okay, I'm going to put you on the waiting list. Okay. It's a short appointment if it's something you're interested in. In that mastermind, we're going to start to dig into some things specifically around your program, services, and products and how they generate income for you. Okay, that's the first order of business for the Profitable Coaches Mastermind. So again, chatwithwendy.com is where you can find more information out about that. And then I also want to make sure you know how to reach me on social media. I'm WendyY Bailey everywhere. WendyY Bailey on YouTube, WendyY Bailey on Facebook. My Facebook page is WendyY Bailey Biz. Okay, so you can find me at WendyY Bailey again on LinkedIn. Just remember that extra Y in the middle, and you can reach out and follow me, connect with me, become part of my private coaching group on Facebook at Profitable Coaching Society. That's the name of the group. You can go to Facebook groups and search for Profitable Coaching Society, and you can join that group. It's almost 400 people strong, and I've been on hiatus from them too, but I'm back, and this is an opportunity for you to support other folks, to be part of a community where I'm always pouring into you content, resources, information. This broadcast is actually going on in that group too. So there are a lot of ways that you can connect with me, and I'd love to be part of your world as you're growing and scaling your coaching business. I also want to tell you about, I'm sorry, I'm WendyY Bailey on Threads as well. If you're not on Threads yet, Threads replaced Twitter for all intents and purposes, and I do post regularly on Threads. So WendyY Bailey, again, just remember the Y in the center. Now, how do you guys like this episode? I feel like I've been talking a while, but be sure to tell me your thoughts about this episode. What do you feel like was your big nugget from everything I shared around KPIs? What was the lesson that you learned? What was it that made you go, oh, that's really good stuff? What is it that you feel like you'll walk away from? And because you're walking away from this with that information, it's going to impact your business in a big way. I want to hear from you. I really, really want to hear from you. So as a reminder, this is the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with WendyY Bailey. And I'm excited to be here with you. I'm excited every week. But I want to tell you, next week, we've got 2 shows lined up. On Tuesday, you're going to see my interview with Ken MacArthur, who is a visionary creator around impact, right? He wrote a book several years ago, and it turned into a movement, and then it turned into a movie, and the movement is still going strong. There's so many juicy nuggets in that interview with Ken that I don't want you to miss it. It airs Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on Thursday, I'll be back live, just like I am here, with another episode all about helping you grow your coaching business. The title, the topic, the episode subject is how do you know when to design your scalable offer? So we're going to talk about what it looks like to create an offer that offers you the opportunity to scale. That kind of sounds double, whatever, but Design Your Scalable Offer is the title of the next one. And I'm just thrilled to pieces about sharing this with you. Remember, there are a lot of ways you can get in touch with me. If you want to chat with WendyY.com. If you want to follow me on social media or connect with me, I'm WendyY Bailey everywhere. I'd love for you to become part of my Profitable Coaching Society on Facebook. You can also join the Business Beyond Limits group on LinkedIn and follow me, WendyY Bailey, on LinkedIn if you're not already. Lots of ways for us to connect, and I would love to sit and connect with you. This has been a great experience for me. I hope it's been a great experience for you. Thanks again so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with WendyY Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from WendyY and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.